511 yellow.
511 yellow.
1199, officers down, Grape Street Park. I've got two officers down, I think.
10-4. 526.
511 yellow, I've been hit.
511 yellow, been hit. Units related, stand by.
511 yellow.
511 yellow.
Two officers down. I've got people, nuggets from the area. They're into the park.
Okay, we've got the ambulance on the way. 541.
Units responding 28th and Grape. We have one report that the suspects were in a red car. 4 suspects, no further description.
515, we got a red car here.
It was a routine Friday night misdemeanor contact. As the officers write citations, one of the males opens fire with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun.
Police Chief Bill Collender would notify a mother that her police officer daughter was dead. 2 days later, Officer Ruopp's widow would be consoled.
September 14th, 1984, Officer Tim Ruopp came to this park and encountered two guys who had 2 underage girls, and they were drinking. And so he was going to write them a misdemeanor citation. He called for backup, and Officer Kim Tonahill showed up. And as she was patting down one of the suspects, he had a concealed weapon, and he elbowed her, knocked her to the ground, and put 4 bullets in her. A third officer, Gary Mitrovich, came to the park. He was shot in the shoulder. He survived, but Officers Ruopp and Officer Tonahill both died.
It is very emotional, but I love what I'm seeing. Families, children, dogs. It's a beautiful park for the whole community, and I know my sister is smiling and loving every minute of it.
I'm so glad they came forward. I'm so glad both Tamee and Sarita reached out and brought this idea to me, and it's a great idea. So I think it's time. It's overdue, quite frankly, and I'm glad we're moving forward with this.
What I would like to see happen is this park have a memorial of some type for them. I would love to have the park renamed Tonahill Root Park, Community Park, Dog Park, anything. I just want, when people come here to walk their dogs, I want them to know what happened here.
Well, I think it's important. Not only were these people my friends and we worked together, but you know, their lives were taken protecting and serving the people of San Diego. And I think it's important that they be recognized for that. I mean, they didn't get into the job to have that happen. They wanted to do good things, and I'm sure they would have. But when those lives are taken like that, people need to know so they can appreciate the loss. I mean, they made a choice to do the job and help people, and I just think that's what should be remembered, and that's why they should be remembered.
I don't want to call it a project because it's such more than that, but that's why this is so important, to making certain that we're paying honor to Kimberly Tonahill and Timothy Ruopp.
I think the community wants to know what happened because people have already asked me, and they were interested in knowing what took place 39 plus years ago. And I think it's a great thing to honor these people, and it's a good memorial.
You know, Tim loved being a police officer. He felt, you know, God called him away from the pulpit because he felt like it was a better way to show love. And he was devoted. He was excited to get up and go to work every day, every day. It makes my heart smile, I guess, when I think about how touching that would be. And Tim loved dogs. In fact, he was hoping eventually to get canine training and become a canine officer. I think it's important for people to see the reality of law enforcement because there are a lot of good police officers.
Well, I think it's important for the people that visit this park to know that the sacrifices that those officers made for them and for the city. And I think that people that visit here would appreciate knowing that type of thing.
Kim was my best friend. We met working at SeaWorld, and we were roommates. We were 24 years old. I promised Kimberly, or Kimmy Sue as I used to call her, that I would never ever let her be forgotten. And I want anybody who comes to this park to know the names Kimberly Tonahill, Timothy Ruopp, and Gary Mitrovich. So a year ago, I started the ball rolling, and here we are today, and we're renaming the park. We had the San Diego City Park and Recreation Department, the Balboa Park Committee, the Greater Golden Hill Committee, San Diego PD has been amazing, the POA, the Police Officers Association. We did not hit any obstacles. There was nobody that said no. Everybody with open arms said, what can we do? What can we do?
Well, this is a very important symbolic moment for not only our current members, but also for all of our retirees, the family and friends of both the Tonahills and the Ruopp families. This brings a little bit of closure. This is so long overdue. We're very proud to be here and to finally make this park a memorial park in their name. I can recall as a little boy watching my dad watch the news coverage of this story and seeing the anguish that he went through, knowing that all of the men and women of the San Diego Police Department, everybody in the law enforcement community is suffering. And as an 11-year-old, it's tough to process all of that. Today I obviously understand the depths of that pain that officers go through. And so to be able to name this park in their name is really just a very proud and honorable moment.
This park is a place where, as you can see behind me, neighbors come together. This park builds community, and it is this community that Officers Tonahill and Ruopp and Mitrovich were protecting 40 years ago today. Our police officers play a fundamental role in keeping our neighborhoods safe. That was true 40 years ago today when Officers Tonahill and Ruopp made the ultimate sacrifice, and Officer Mitrovich was seriously wounded in the line of duty.
It's with a lot of personal, well, it's with bittersweet fortune that I really got to know these people through their families. And it took me a while not to feel guilty and concerned that my presence might bring up those awful memories of that night. But I am lucky to be able to call them my friends, very close and personal friends, and they mean an awful lot to me. So, this day and the renaming of the park is for the families, to honor them, honor their lost loved ones, and to show that we will never forget.
It's hard to believe it's been 40 years, and I feel a new sense of life. People will know who they are. Hopefully they'll look into their story and understand that, you know, police officers, law enforcement, first responders, they suit up every day. They go to work. They selflessly protect all of us. They serve all of us, and they're just like all of us. They're friends, they're sisters, they're moms, they're dads, they're brothers. They're just wonderful people, wonderful people.